When Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of King Herod, behold, Magi from the east arrived in Jerusalem, saying, "Where is the newborn King of the Jews? We saw his star at its rising, and have come to do him homage." When King Herod heard this, he was greatly troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. Assembling all the chief priests and the scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Christ was to be born. They said to him, "In Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it has been written through the prophet, and you, Bethlehem, land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah, since from you shall come a ruler who is to shepherd my people Israel." Then Herod called the Magi secretly and ascertained from them the time of the star's appearance. He sent them to Bethlehem and said, "Go and search diligently for the child, that I too may go and do him homage." After their audience with the king, they set out, and behold, the star that they had seen at its rising preceded them, until it came and stopped over the place where the child was. They were overjoyed at seeing the star, and on entering the house, they saw the child with Mary his mother. They prostrated themselves and did him homage. Then they opened their treasures and offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they departed for their country by another way. The Gospel of the Lord. So the Christ baby in the manger, the light which comes into the world, the light that John the evangelist speaks about or spoke about. So the light cometh into the world, and darkness could not overpower it. Darkness could not overcome it. The light that Isaiah prophesied several years before his coming, and say, "The glory of the Lord shines upon you." And you know, if you think about shining, it's not just these three lights, okay? The shining on me, and there are three. And three stand for what? That's there you go, the Trinity. And then the light of the Trinity itself coming, being revealed in our own time. He's a baby in a manger. The baby in the manger is a light. That baby in a manger has a star that made the Magi to seek him out. That baby in a manger, simple, modest, the sign of contradiction. Prophet Simeon, at the time of presentation of Jesus in the temple, said, "This child is destined for the fall and rising of many in Israel." It's a sign of contradiction. Some will see him as the truth, some will turn away from him. It's a sign that will be rejected. From the crib to the cross, Jesus is rejected. Not everybody accepts him, of course. And here we know Herod. Herod is on one spot, and the Magi are on the other side. Can you imagine? The whole of Israel had waited all their life for Jesus coming. The Israelites have been waiting. Prophets have been talking about it. And they have the prophecies all memorized. They have it right there in their mind, memorized, waiting for him. So when he did arrive, what happened? Did they recognize him? Maybe not. The Magi from the east, they didn't even have anything about the prophecies at all. They just saw this star and they said, this star is extraordinary. This is not an ordinary star. It must point to somebody great. In the ancient East and many parts of Israel, stars reveal. When a star, is so exceptional, people say, something special here. And guess what? These guys left everything they were doing. They abandoned their own schedules. They abandoned their plans and go on a search to see who is the one that is born. This star is so special, is so exceptional. They seek out and left and traveled miles and hundreds of miles. And here, they had some problems along the way. Sometimes the star disappears. Sometimes they could not see, maybe the clouds. I probably think there are some of us here who went looking for the Star of David. And Jupiter and Saturn and all that. 800 years ago, that star appeared. And now, many people are seeking that star last year. Okay? And sometimes, the clouds seem to be covering it. Some hold a binocular, some put, different kind of things to take a snapshot of it. It was not as easy as that for those three Magi that went out. They traveled long distances. And this time, not by cars, not by planes, but by animals. So it was really rigorous. It was not a simple quest. And so, sometime the star disappeared. And then they had to go and consult. When we are confused, we seek consultation. When we are in doubt, we seek consultation. Some people are so proud that they don't consult. They think it all by themselves. I just can't figure this out. I'm just trying to figure this out. Because they never consult. Never think someone else will know. So they decided to go to Herod's palace. Was that the right place to go to? But they had no choice. That's all they had. They went to Herod, and Herod said, yeah. Tell me more. I want to know more. Herod was showing curiosity about the child, but his curiosity was a false curiosity. He said he wanted to know, what does he want the knowledge for? The knowledge for life, or the knowledge to destroy? So curiosity can be a good thing. Curiosity can also be a false thing, an evil thing. Do you always like to know what's going on around you? Like everything. What's the weather going to look like? Or what your neighbor is having, what is doing, what they're doing, your neighbor, what is, No, everything. There's no curiosity that we don't need. Sometimes the curiosity is meant to protect our power. Like Herod. His curiosity was to protect his power. He was an Udemian. He's not a Jew, but he was ruler over the people of the Jewish people. He was king over them. But if there is a young boy who is going to be a king, an infant who is going to be a king, what was going to be the lot of Herod? He was going to lose his throne. And guess what? Jesus Christ's throne is not an earthly throne. Jesus Christ's throne is not a political throne. Jesus Christ's throne is the throne of our hearts. The throne of our hearts. That's why he came simple, modest, without the trappings of power. I want to ask you a question and I want answers for this one. So guys, everybody woke up right there. If you were the creator of the whole heavens and the earth. I mean, the heavens and the earth. If you are the creator and you have power over every single thing, and if you want to know what the world looks like, we're talking about the whole of America here is about 300 and something million people. We're talking of going to Asia. We're talking of going to Australia and the Oceanians. We're talking of going to Africa. And all that put together, and all the infrastructure, every little thing that is in the world. If you want to show up one day, to show yourself to your creatures, the ones that you created, how will you appear? You are the owner, you are in charge, like you can lock it and say, it's done. You have power over everything, and you want to appear just to show your, to flout your power around a little bit. How are you going to appear? I want answers, I tell you. How are you going to come? How will you show yourself to show how powerful you are? This quiet. Are you going to come quiet? Tell me. Were you trying to tell me something? Oh yeah. How will you come? Sorry? Yeah, you can take it like once, and then appear like them. You appear like them. Like them. How? Appear like them. Yeah, that is a wonderful one. To appear like them. And the them you refer to are who? You're not going to appear like a lion, are you? Or like a human being. Like a human being. A short one, a tall one, fat one, thin. Tell me, what kind? Huh? I like her, she's consulting, huh? And hopefully she's consulting the right person. Hopefully. Yes, so we hear her now, she's going to come like a human person, yeah. Drew, how will you come? Huh?
I would act if I was the boss, I would want everybody to know it.
You know when the master is there, that's why I don't put on the message. Because it's difficult for me to
I would appear as a boss, a king. So
yeah, kind of a king, like a boss. Yeah, with some modicum of power around you. Yeah, Drew, were you saying something? You are the owner of the whole world. How are you going to come? Let me hear you. Power. Like a child. Oh boy. Yeah, because you're a little boy. Not kind of like your size. Is it like your size? Or like 10 size? Your size. Oh, there you go. So he's going to come, in the form of, a child like himself. So because that is the idea. And for you now, you're coming like, with power, with some kingship, with some, something catchy to actually express your power. Guess what happens? So, everybody who spoke now spoke according to how they are. She said she's going to come like a human person. What kind of size? Maybe she was not ready to volunteer that, but I can suspect that your size, your type, your kind. And when you are an adult, your size, the idea is power, That's what it is. And Drew is saying, his size also. So, God came in the size of a baby. That is God. It's the simplicity of God. The simplicity of who he expects us to be. The simplicity of the bread and wine we turn into the body and blood of Christ. Simplicity. Simple. No power. No trappings around it. Simple. So that it is possible to be trampled down. It is possible to, But if you look steadily at him, you see the modesty and the simplicity. Yet the Magi, seeing the star, could recognize faith. They had faith and knew that God is there. What did they do? They prostrated themselves and worshipped and gave their treasures. While the Israelites, who had the whole books of the law and everything, who were expecting him, when he eventually came, they could not recognize him because they were expecting a powerful person. They were expecting a Messiah who was going to take over, from the Romans. The Lord came as a baby. Herod, the one who has enough power, needs more power. And when people need more power, they kind of try to destroy those who are like competition with them. Was Jesus in competition with Herod? No. Was Jesus in competition with Pilate? No. That's why he kept silent when Pilate was interrogating him. Are you the king of the Jews? My kingdom is not of this world, he said. But Herod thought that the kingdom was of this world, and that's why he wanted to destroy him. And he went about killing children. Because those who seek the kingdom of this world kill life, destroy life, and destroy posterity, and destroy purpose, and destroy mission. Because every child in the world, every individual, myself, I have a star. You have a star. Everybody does have a star. And in the journey of life, sometimes we do not understand truly who we are. Sometimes we do not understand our purpose why we are here. Sometimes we lose a sense of our mission because we lose a sense of the identity of who we are. We are children of God, made in the likeness of God, made to worship God alone. The Magi shows us example of worship of God, forgetful of the self, the trappings of power, not like Herod. Herod did not forget himself. In fact, he wanted to institutionalize himself and obliterate anything that was going to destroy his reign. We come to church every now and then, on Sundays during the weekdays, and we celebrate Mass. And the Lord himself is before us every now and then. In the tabernacle, he's there. Did the peer review survey in America not talk about 70% of Catholics who do not have worship or reverence for the true body and blood of Christ. And that's why sometimes, we come for Mass, when we're supposed to bow, we're not bowing. When we're supposed to kneel, we're not kneeling. Because it looks like, oh no, I can't do this today, I can't do this. The kings, Jesus Christ is the King of kings. So the kings bow to him. And what did the Word of God tells us today? He said, Lord, every nation on earth will adore you. Every nation will adore. Every person will adore. And at the name of Jesus, every knee must bow. Every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. Lord means master. Lord means sovereign. Lord means in charge. But he doesn't show his power. He doesn't show his naked power. He comes like a baby. He comes like the body and blood of Christ, like bread on the altar. He comes on the cross without power. In fact, sometimes it looks like a failure. Yet, he's the King of the world, the King of our hearts. All he asks is that we bow down and worship. Bow down and worship. Because there are no two kings, it's just one. I believe in one God, the Father Almighty, the maker of heaven and earth, of all things, visible and invisible.